It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl today. 2 grade schools playing our game. Let's meet today's contestants. First from Avalon Elementary, would you please say hello to Adrian Aguirre, Ian Brown, and Mary Joy Williams. And from Kenilworth Elementary, here they are, Maggie Eberhard, Alex Lemire, and Marco Washington. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green Things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body Systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's Get Physical, questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question. The easier ones are worth 5 and 10 points. They're on the left. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and 25. Toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And the end of the 2 rounds today, the team that's ahead will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to the semifinals in our elementary competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. Avalon, would you try your buzzer? Ian. Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Adrian, and to Mary Joy. And the green team, Alex, would you try yours? All right, he's got a nice confident push as well. Good luck to you, to Marco, and to Maggie. Are we ready? Yeah. Let's do this thing. Let's have a good time. Congratulations on being chosen to represent your schools. You're all great ambassadors. May the better team win. We go alphabetically A before K, so Avalon and Ian, let's play the bowl.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Team, there's a saying that the grass is always greener on the other side. If that's true, it might be because there's more of what? Pigment in the grass on the other side. Kenilworth.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Yeah, maybe there's just more chlorophyll over there. Yeah, it always looks better somewhere else than at home. Good answer. Go green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, if you go on the internet, they charge $24 for each tomato plant. A plant that can grow both what and what? Kenilworth.
Tomatoes and potatoes.
Tomatoes and potatoes. A tomato plant. You got that right. Good answer. Go green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. If you are not good boys and girls, and I'm sure you are, but if you weren't, Santa Claus might leave a lump of what fossil fuel in your stocking, Avalon?
Coal.
That's right, a lump of coal. Anthracite, bituminous, whatever it is. I don't want it. Okay, go red. Ian, please.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if something really perks you up, it's said to be a shot in the what? Kenilworth.
Shot in the butt.
Shot in the butt, not quite. I like that, though. Avalon, if something really perks you up, it's said to be a shot in the what?
Back.
In the arm. You got a shot in the arm. That is something that perks you up, like a cup of coffee or some kind of caffeinated drink. Try again, red. 55 to 70.
Try Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, naked mole rats are mammals, but they include a queen, workers, breeding males, defenders. So those mammals are much like what other kinds of creatures?
Bees.
Avalon?
Bees.
Bees, yeah. Bees and termites and ants, those social insects have that hierarchy, the same as those naked mole rats. All right, 65 to 70. Almost a tie score. You're 5 points behind. Avalon, please choose.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points. Teams, this chemical, which is a stimulant for humans, is toxic to insects, which is why coffee and tea and cocoa plants make it to defend themselves. Avalon?
Caffeine.
Caffeine, exactly. I just used that word. Caffeine it is, and with that you go into the lead. Avalon, choose.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10 points. Teams, a recent National Geographic special was called Cause an Uproar. It was about lions and tigers and cheetahs and jaguars and leopards. But one of those big cats doesn't roar. Which one? No takers. Oh, Ian says, I think I know. Which of those big cats, the lions and tigers and cheetahs and jaguars and leopards, doesn't roar?
Jaguars.
Not quite, no. Kenilworth, which of those big cats does not roar, Alex?
The leopard?
The cheetah. The cheetah purrs and squeaks. It does not roar. Try again, Red.
Let's get physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, when your friendly meteorologist says we're getting the dreaded wintry mix, what are the 3 kinds of frozen wintry precipitation he or she is talking about? Name all 3 for me, Ian.
Hail,
Sleet,
snow.
sleet, hail, and snow.
Sleet, hail, and snow. Ooh, not quite, not quite. Kenilworth, what are the 3 kinds of frozen precipitation that make up the dreaded wintry mix? Snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Try again, Red. You came close, Avalon. Good try. Pick again.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, you know, kids can be bullies. So can animals be bullies. Witness, remember the example? Because they didn't like his looks, poor Rudolph didn't get to join in any what games? Kenilworth?
Reindeer.
Reindeer games, that's right. They kept him out. He showed him up, though, didn't he? Yeah, he went to the head of the class, and now they're all his friend, of course. Yeah, go Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, recently fans at a Seattle Seahawks football game made so much noise, they registered 1.2 on this scale that measures earthquakes. Ian.
The seismic scale.
Not the seismic scale. That's a good try. What's the name of the scale that measures earthquakes? 1.2 is what the Seattle Seahawks fans registered on. The Richter scale. The Richter scale for earthquakes. Try again, Green. Alex?
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Listen carefully. Some scientists are proposing that we build 65-story tall earth scrapers underground instead of these. Avalon.
Skyscrapers.
Skyscrapers is the opposite of earth scrapers. You listen carefully. You got the right points. The buzzer has said our first round is over. Our score is Avalon 80, Kenilworth 75. Almost a dead heat. We'll be back with more Science Poll in just a moment. Don't go away.
Hello, I'm Tom Selleck. In every generation, men and women have come forward to fight for freedom and defend our liberty. Over 58,000 of them are named on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Join me in supporting a new campaign to build an education center near the wall to tell their stories and teach about the values of those who have served in the past and who serve today. Learn how you can help. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for making this day so special. Dad, you've been my inspiration. I love you.
I love you too.
And Mom, I miss you so much.
Type 2 diabetes steals the lives we cherish most. But it can be prevented. Almost 80 million Americans have prediabetes, but because prediabetes doesn't always have symptoms, 9 out of 10 people who have it don't even know it. Know your risk. More importantly, do something about it. Eat better, stay active, and lose weight. You have a lot to live for. Stop diabetes for yourself and the people you love. Learn how at checkupamerica.org or talk to your doctor.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Here we are in our 28th year of Science Bowl, and the students keep getting better and better each and every year. We've got 6 outstanding young people here today, 2 of whom have been here before. They were with their school last year. Let's go first to Avalon and talk to Ian and Mary Joy and Adrian. And Ian, nice to have you back again. Now, last year you were on the side and Adrian was the captain. So why'd you guys switch?
There really isn't a reason. It's like we wanted to try to switch and see what would happen.
Of course, yeah, and you know, try things differently. You know, a little challenge helps, and we know how good Adrian is as a captain, and you're proving to be equally good. Tell us about Avalon. Where's it located?
It's located on Webster Lane near a park.
Yes, it's down there off, it's Allentown Road, yes, down in the southern portion of the county. And you have a brand new school this year, don't you? Yeah, I was there for the ribbon cutting. How is it so far?
It's pretty great, but I sort of miss the blackboards because it's like you have to do so much stuff to get the new ones all up and ready and all that.
Yeah, these whiteboards that are on there now. And you know, we all like what we're used to, but in time I'm sure you get. What's the favorite part of your new school? What do you like best about it?
The science lab.
Science. Oh, that's a good answer too on the Science Bowl. Ian, you want to be a heart surgeon someday, yeah? Or a chemist. And so you have science in your blood. And what do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to read and play games and all that. I also like to play pranks on my siblings.
Oh yeah, and you have 3 siblings, right? Yeah. So I won't ask you some of the things you do. I think I probably know some of the things you do. Good to have you here today, Mary Joy. Nice to have you here. Your first time on the show.
Yes.
Yeah. And why'd you want to be here today?
I wanted to be here to try out what I know about science and what I learned from my teachers and stuff.
Wonderful. I like that answer. And here, all that studying you've done now is a chance for everybody to see how good you are and how much you know. You're doing a nice job. What do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a Navy pilot.
Navy pilot. And I know your dad is in the Navy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you like flying?
Yes.
You're not afraid of heights?
A little bit.
Little bit. You'll get over that. I can see you. And of course, you need to be very good at all those STEM subjects to be a good Navy pilot. So you're making a good start here. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Adrian, nice to have you back. You're a safety patrol. Where do you patrol at Avalon?
Well, I patrol around the right where the flag is, sort of.
Yeah. And I remember talking to you on the day of the ribbon cutting. You gave her some really nice comments about that new school. You've got 2 sisters at Avalon.
Yes.
They're out there rooting for you. And while I have you, because I didn't ask Ian, who's the principal at Avalon?
Miss Dr. Bruce.
Dr. Bruce, and she is so proud of that new school. She has a long tradition with Avalon. And who's the sponsor of your team?
We have Miss Rabara and Miss Lamiba.
And they're both here today?
Yes.
Yes, and we'll have them come out in just a few moments. Did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes, we had Kennedy Walker.
Yes.
Right, and Jordan Roth.
Wonderful. And we'll bring them out in just a few moments, too. Adrian, before I leave you, what do you want to do someday with your life?
I want to be a boxer.
Boxer, yeah. I don't know that we've ever had boxers on on our Science Bowl show. What got you interested in boxing?
Well, I went to work with my mom one day.
Yeah.
And then she told me when we got home that one of our coworkers saw me and asked me.
Ah, so they saw maybe some native talent there.
Yeah, and then on our first day of training, I decided I really liked it, and that's something I want to do.
That's cool. I like that story. Good luck to you. Good to have you back. And Kenilworth, good to have you guys here today. You're wearing matching shirts over there. What do they say, Alex?
Kenilworth's 50th anniversary, but they're a year old.
Oh, okay. They still look great. Now, do you get to keep those or those loaners?
This one's a loaner because mine was in the wash when I needed it. So.
So Mom made sure you had a really nice one looking on. You look good today. Tell me about Kenilworth. It's over there in Bowie. Who's your principal?
Mr. Henderson.
Mr. Henderson, rooting for you, I'm sure. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Mrs. Keller.
And she was out here taking pictures earlier, and she is so proud of you guys. Any alternates on your team?
Yes, Danielle and Lindsay.
All right, Danielle and Lindsay, and they'll be out in a few moments with Miss Keller so we can see the behind-the-scenes work that goes into preparing the students to be here today. Alex, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to read, but I'm also pretty creative nowadays. Well,
Not nowadays, but still. I'm pretty creative, so I'll use Legos a lot if I'm bored.
Yes, well, listen, I have an idea you find ways to keep yourself amused, because you want to be an inventor, don't you? So you're constantly thinking of things. This is a young man who wants to make a new version of the what?
Pretty much the next iPad.
The next iPad, so you can say you met Alex, the guy who did it, right here on Science Bowl. You're doing a nice job, Alex. Marco, good to have you here. You're also a 5th grader like Alex and Maggie. You're a safety patrol. Where's your area of patrol?
In the front of the school.
In front of the school. And people do listen to you? They do what you say? Tell me what you want to do someday.
Play in the NFL.
NFL, and you want to play with the Carolina Panthers, yeah? Why is that a favorite team?
I just like them.
You just like them. That's it. You don't have every reason. Sometimes it's just kind of a gut reaction. You just like the players and the way they do it. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to play cards and play games. So.
Play games, yeah. Well, you're doing a nice job, and you said your first time on TV, right? And you always wanted to do this. Hope you're having a good time. We like having you here. Maggie, tell us about your fishing. She goes fishing. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 6.
6. So you go fishing with Mom and Dad, and what did you reel in one day?
Flounder.
A flounder. How big was that flounder?
That big.
Whoa. Did it feed the whole family or just you?
Just me and my dad.
Besides fishing, what do you like to do?
I like to watch TV and play with my little brother and sister.
Wonderful. How old are they?
Quinn's 5 and Lily's 4.
Very nice. And what do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a photographer.
Photographer. And you use your parents' camera, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. You're playing a good game. I like your spirit. Let's get back here to the game. Kenilworth is at 75, Avalon at 80. All the tough questions are left. We start out with Avalon. Go, Ian.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Again?
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, a person who is kind of dull and slow reacting is sometimes called the name of this extinct bird that was also kind of clumsy and slow reacting, Avalon.
A dodo.
A what?
A dodo.
A dodo is correct. Yes, indeed. Good. Go. Red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, there are new sensors that they're putting on new cars to keep cars from crashing at night and in the fog. They use what kind of long wavelengths that are invisible to our eye that we equate with heat? Kenilworth. Okay, you had some idea, Alex. What do you want to tell me?
Ultraviolet?
Good try. Not ultraviolet. Avalon, what kind of heat-sensing detectors? They use long wavelengths invisible to our eyes are helping cars to avoid collisions in the dark and in the fog.
Heat signature.
Not quite. Infrared. Infrared. You had the right idea, Alex. Part of the electromagnetic spectrum outside the visible range. Try again, Red. Go, Ian. Ian, take your hand. I can't hear you when you're talking. Okay, thank you.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, this was ridiculous, preposterous. There was an old episode of Saturday Night Live when Will Ferrell was eating food for his son, then he spit the food into his son's mouth. And everyone went, oh my gosh, and he said, give us a break. The kid doesn't have any blank glands. Why would a father have to chew up the food for his son? His son was missing what glands? Saliva glands, so he couldn't help to digest the food on his own. Go, Red. Come on, take a chance with these questions. There's no penalty for an incorrect answer. Go, Red. Ian.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, one of the leading causes of blindness is cataracts. Cataracts is in what part of the eye clouds over? You have to know the eye parts. What part of the eye clouds over, and that's what causes a cataract. Come on, Avalon.
The iris.
Not the iris. Good try. Come on, give me another part, Alex.
The cornea?
The lens is the right answer. The lens clouds over. Come on, Red. Go.
Come on.
Ian?
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, back in 1999, the Mars Climate Orbiter disintegrated on landing because of an engineering mistake. It seems that we used English system measurements instead of what other measurements that are used in all the other countries of the world, and they didn't mesh. Come on, Kenilworth.
Metric system?
Metric, that's what I want to hear. Good. Go, Alex. Green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs said, I've waited 2 years for this moment. And he took his finger and he swiped the touch screen on the very first whatever. Ian.
iPhone.
iPhone, yes indeed. Good. Go, Red.
Dateline, no. Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, onion plants only form onion bulbs under the ground when the days start getting longer. Is that an example of phototropism, photoperiodism, or photophobia? Kenilworth.
Photoperiodism?
Periodism, yes sir, yes, the period, the time frame. You listen good, go. Green.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Before I ask that question, score update. Kenilworth 110, Avalon 105. Dateline for 15 is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, for this question. Teams, what prefix that means 1/billionth is the kind of robots that they're making to look like these aquanauts that were miniaturized in a science fiction film called The Fantastic Voyage? Give me a prefix that means 1/billionth. Nano. Those are nanobots. Try again, green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Teams, all right. I don't see you guys talking to each other much. You need to talk to each other. 3 heads are better than 1. You can't just sit there and look off into space. You've got to talk to each other. 25 points under green things. Teams, in the last 100 years, the growing season, the time when we can grow things here in North America, has increased 2 weeks. What are the 2 times that define the growing season from when to when? When is the growing season? Let's see if any of you are gardeners. Let's see if you grow anything. Avalon, what begins and ends the growing season?
Spring to fall. Spring and fall.
Not quite.
Wait.
It's a little more specific than that. Come on, Kenilworth. When does the growing season start? When does it end?
The equinox?
Not the equinox. It starts with the frost, the last frost, and it ends with the first frost and the last frost. Those frosts are the times that determine the growing season. Try green. Yes, sir.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, back in the 1950s, parents like yours were thanking Dr. Jonas Salk because their children could finally go back to public swimming pools and public beaches because he had come up with a vaccine to cure what P initial disease? Polio. Polio was the answer. Try again, green. Kenilworth?
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, people who suffer from Marfan's syndrome. People who have very long fingers and toes, also have very long organs. Many of them die too young because this biggest of the body's arteries gets too big and bursts. What's the name of the biggest artery in your body? Come on, Avalon.
The heart.
No, the heart is an organ now. What's the name of the biggest artery in your body, Kenilworth? That's the aorta. The aorta. Try again, green. Alex, pick.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, when your stomach has finally finished churning up all your food, there's a place in there called the pyloric sphincter that opens up. And little by little, the food goes through that little trapdoor into the colon, into the bile duct, or into the small intestine. Wait until I recognize you, please. Avalon?
Small intestine.
Yes, sir. Small intestine is the right answer. Go, Avalon. You pick. Ian, come on.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, look at the monitor. This is a visual question. Teams, if Little Red Riding Hood were around, she would say, "My, what big eyes you have to this cephalopod. What is that thing?" Kenilworth?
Squid.
It's a squid. It's a giant squid, yes. Alex, you don't look too happy. You got it right. Go.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay,
Let's get
that's
physical
okay.
for 20.
I'm sorry?
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, photon sounds like proton, but a photon is a particle of light, whereas a proton is a what? What's a proton, Kenilworth?
A proton is a positively charged piece of an atom.
You got that right. A positively charged particle in the atom. You did that very nicely. Good. Go, green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 20. For the big one in that category, teams, Edgar Allan Poe. He wrote those horror stories like The Pit and the Pendulum. You'd stay up late at night, you were scared. He also wrote a book about what M-initialed phylum of creatures that includes clams and oysters. Avalon?
Mussels.
Not mussels. Good try. What M-initialed phylum of creatures includes clams and oysters, and Edgar Allan Poe wrote a book about them? Any idea, guys, over there? These are called mollusks. Mollusks. Ah, now they say, yes, now we got it. Go green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, back in the early 19th century, there was a French doctor, and he couldn't hear his patient's heart. So he took a piece of paper and he rolled it up. He put one end on the patient's chest, one into his ear. He heard it. He invented the first what? What is that instrument called? Avalon?
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope is exactly right. Adrian, I heard you all the way over here. Good answer. Good. Go red.
Thanks, man.
It was nice that you thanked him. Go, Ian. 3 questions. Which one?
Let's get physical for 25.
It's physical for 25 points. Teams, the reason why an airplane stays up in the air and can fly is because there are 4 forces of flight. Like the wing gives lift to overcome the weight, and the engine provides thrust to overcome what force that's holding it back? What do we call that force that thrust overcomes, Ian?
Gravity.
Ooh, not gravity. Good try. Kenilworth.
Drag.
Drag is exactly right. That's what I want to hear. Go green.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25. Big one in that category, teams. It was back in 1976 that scientists discovered endorphins, chemicals produced in your brain that naturally do what for you? What do endorphins do for you, Kenilworth? Come on, Marco and Maggie, help the poor guy out.
It helps you relax.
Yes, it does. Those are natural pain relievers. Good. Go. Last question. Body systems for 25 points. It's this. Men's brains and women's brains are different, we've discovered. Men have more connections inside each half of the brain. Women have connections between the 2 halves. I'll give you 25 points if you can give me the H initial term that describes both sides of the brain. Avalon.
Hemisphere.
You got, you were pulling that out. Good job. Hemispheres it is, and with that, we've come to the end of the game. We'll be right back with a wrap-up. Don't you go away.
Hello? Hello? I've been on the street for a while. I saw your poster outside. I don't know what to do.
National Runaway Switchboard, how can I help? Call 1-800-RUNAWAY to make the connection.
Welcome back. What a great game. Almost a dead heat from beginning to end. And those 25-point questions, they were gold for both teams, but more so for Kenilworth. Our final tally today is Avalon 175, Kenilworth 200. Congratulations. Alex, I was worried about you. You were getting white with fear over there. He's finally smiling. Good luck to Maggie. Congratulations to Maggie, Alex, and Marco. Mr. Henderson, the principal, is here. What a great team. Miss Keller, thank you for all the work. We're going to see you in the next round. And also, congratulations to Lindsay and Danielle, the alternates. You're a great part of this team. Avalon, let me see some smiles here. You guys gave us a great game. You kept us on our toes till the very end. Adrian and Ian and Mary Joy and Jordan and Kennedy, our alternates, and Miss Rivera. Thank you for doing this year. I hope you come back again. You always send us great teams. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.